Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with the Atakline for Thursday, January 19th, 2012. Alright, let's get started with some Bruce Springsteen news. An update. Yesterday on the Atakline, I mentioned that Bruce Springsteen today would be releasing a new song from his new album entitled We Take Care, Spike Our House. We take care of our own. That's the new single. Now we know a lot more about Bruce's album today. Not only did they release that song, I heard a snippet of it. And it sounds like almost every other Bruce record in the last couple of years, but it sounds pretty decent. The album title is called Wrecking Ball. We found out the album title also yesterday, late yesterday, after the Atakline had been taped. He performed this song called Wrecking Ball back in 2009. He has released the song in a studio form. I know he released it as a live cut. And now the album is set for release on March the 6th. Like I said, the album will be called Wrecking Ball. And I know there'll be a deluxe edition. It'll be produced by a guy. It's produced by Juan Anelio. And I don't think it's not, but I think the last album, was it produced by Brandon O'Brien? I think Brandon O'Brien's released his last cut album, so we kind of couldn't hear somebody else produce it besides Brendan, the producer for Pearl Jam. But Karen Dale's new boss. I heard the song already. I guess we took care of our own. Decent song. Good to hear the rest, and hopefully you announce some U.S. tour dates. Please, we're still waiting. Now, not only did I talk about the boss yesterday, I talked about the Grammys yesterday as well, and I'm talking about the Grammys again today. As I mentioned on yesterday's Atakline as well, LL Cool J was announced yesterday as the host. First time in 7 years a host has been named. Of course, LL has been hosting the Grammy nomination special for the last couple of years. Now he's holding the big show. Now they announced a couple more performers. Now last week, Nicki Minaj, Jason Aldean, with Kelly Clarkson, Bruno Mars, the Foo Fighters, and Taylor Swift were all confirmed last week. But now this week, however, new names have been mentioned. We're going to have Rihanna duetting with Coldplay, performing their song Princess of China from Coldplay's album Milo Xylota for the first time in public. With this announcement, Rihanna becomes the third artist nominated for Album of the Year to be performing. Rihanna, Foo Fighters, and Bruno have all confirmed for performances. We still have to hear from Lady Gaga and Adele about performing at the Grammys. Adele is, of course, big speculations. I'm hearing it's a possibility. And also performing at the Grammys besides Coldplay and Rihanna announced today, the person who's going to be nominated is winning the Music Cares Person of the Year, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and the man I saw last year, my man, Sir Paul McCartney, has been confirmed to perform as well. He's got a brand new standards album, Kisses on the Bottom, coming out February 7th, just a few days before the Grammys. So we kind of a good week. New album comes out. He's going to be getting the Music Chaos Person of the Year. He's performing at the ceremony, private ceremony, probably airing on DVD. They always release those Music Chaos Person of the Year specials on DVD. And it'll also be at the Grammys as well. And I'll keep you posted on more names to be announced performing. And can't wait to hear who else is performing. But excited to hear the Coldplay and Rihanna's performing together. I heard a little bit of Princess from China. Sounds pretty decent. Can't wait to hear it live. And Bruce ain't performing, but we know Paul McCartney is. Can't wait to see Sir Paul McCartney. And he rocked last year, so he can rock the Grammys. Performed a few years ago at the Grammys, so we'll see what happens this time with Sir Paul McCartney. Now, on with Bruce I mentioned, got an album coming out. He wasn't the only one announcing album details today. Rascal Flatts, another band I saw last year, besides Paul McCartney, is back with their new album, Changed. The first new album in 2 years since the last album, Nothing But This. The first album on the new label, Big Machine Records, okay, the label Taylor Belts. They have a brand new single entitled Banjo that's heating up the country charts. Heard a little bit of it. It's more countryfied than the last couple singles. And the album Change will be coming out on April the 3rd. And came in to hear some new Flats, and they have no plans on touring. Yeah, I think they got some tour dates planned. But like I said, came in to hear the new album. I'm kind of a Flats fan. You know, I like country music as well, so I came in to hear. I heard Banjo sounds pretty good. Came in to hear the rest of the album when it does come out. Now, on with television news, starting with my reviews of last night's programming, starting with American Idol, which returned last night. Now, I didn't see the whole thing last night. I mostly seen like a bit of most of the first hour. Missed most of the second hour because I'm on a family, which I'll get to in a moment. LOL about the rip. But what I saw, I did see recaps of some performances on the internet, including one guy named Philip. I think he could be a possibility for a winner. I like him. He's very unique. I like that young 17-year-old Mr. Stereo girl. The beginning of the show, I liked it. I thought it was going to fail, but I was amazed. He does remind me of Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5. He could do well. And there was one girl I didn't like that Wendy didn't like, but the other two did. I liked her, but she'll be out by Hollywood Week. But there's okay people on this show. You know, it's auditions. You never know until you get to the performance rounds. But the American Idol rating, however, sunk to an all-time low. The season 11 premiere had only 26 million. Only. Like, good. Like, for American Idol, getting 26 million is good. But when it's down a whopping 27% from last year's season opener, it's like, oh boy. Yeah. It was 30 million last season. The all-time record for biggest season premiere for American Idol has been 37 back in 04, 07. So 26 million ain't bad, but it's down from 30 million. But we'll see what AI can do for the rest of the time. Of course, it returns again tonight for 1 hour. And it'll also be on Sunday following the NFC game against the Giants and the 49ers. For some reason, the scheduling after football. So, they can have Glee after the Super Bowl. They can have American Idol after the NFC Championship. Now, on the TV news on more, last night, Modern Family was on. You gotta give Modern Family a standing ovation. That show was been hilarious last night, man. I loved it, man. The way they did it, the whole controversy about Lily saying the F word, they did it perfectly. The fact she said it in church made me laugh a lot more than all the Christian thumpers who thought it was wrong. They didn't get the whole thing about it. And there was some great funny moments last night besides Lily. The YouTube video with Phil, the auto-tune, LMFAO. Best Modern Family of Season 3. Probably the best Modern Family episode I've ever seen. Amazing show last night. Epic. LOL. LMFAO. Whatever you want to say. It was amazing last night. Leftacular. Modern Family proved once again and for all why they won the Emmys 2 years in a row for Best Comedy and why they finally, after 2 years of losing to Glee, finally won the Golden Globe this past Sunday for Best Comedy Series. It proved once again why it is, in my opinion, and probably a lot of others' opinions, the best fucking comedy on television today. Good job, Modern Family. Applaud to you. Awesome show last night. Now, on with Wrestling with TNA Impact Preview. Impact Wrestling Preview for today. Alright, you know what I do best. Top 5 questions that must be answered tonight's Impact Wrestling. Question number 5. Where we're going down with AJ Styles and Gunner. Now, Gunner's been on a path of destruction, where AJ's been asking questions he isn't getting much answers to. We all know what happened with AJ and Kaz. Kaz turning his back on AJ. We all saw what happened last week when Kaz tried to tell his side of the story, but Daniels came out. I say something's going on between Kaz and Daniels. Say Daniels has control over Kaz for whatever reason, for money or blackmail. We'll probably find out in the next couple of weeks. But AJ better put that aside and focus on Gunner. But I think something will happen. Like Kaz will come out and screw AJ. Who knows what'll happen with AJ and Kaz tonight. If it'll interfere in tonight's match between AJ and Gunner. Gunner's been on a roll lately, destroying people left and right. I know Garrett Bischoff's back. Maybe he'll get involved. But we'll see what happens tonight with AJ and Gunner. Should be an okay matchup. I saw these two fight at a house show. keep mentioning the TNA house show I went to in November. And they had an okay matchup. Let's see if they're going to put on a decent match tonight. Question number 4. What will happen tonight in the steel cage match between Mickie James and Madison Rayne? Now we see Madison Rayne been interfering a lot in all of Mickie James' title matches against Gail Kim. Happened again this past Sunday at Genesis. Sting made the match last week that Madison Rayne will be in a steel cage against against Mickie James. Now Mickie had a steel cage match before against Taylor on Impact. That was the main event. That was a decent knockout steel cage match. That was pretty good. And of course, we all know a few weeks ago, Gail Kim and Mickie James headline Impact. Great matchup. We'll see what Mickie and Madison can do in the cage, and if it'll be a main event or not. Who knows? I don't know if it'll be. It may be, but hope that you can deliver a decent matchup tonight in the steel cage, knockout style. So have a little bit of hopes for it. Better than any Diva situation. And at least tonight's TNA Impact Knockouts match will not have Perez Hilton. Sorry, we had to slag you for having Perez Hilton last Monday. Question number 3. Will any of the matches be announced for Against All Odds? Well, we don't know who's going to be taking... Well, we kind of know Storm gets a shot against Rude. We don't know when to be at Impact or Against All Odds. I'll talk about that in a moment. And if Bully Ray Hardy will get involved, which I'll get to also in a moment. So we'll see what happens if they announce anything for Against All Odds. But we'll see about that. Maybe in a couple weeks, maybe next week. But we'll see what happens if they do anything about Against All Odds tonight. Question number 2, what will go down between Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy? Last week, after the controversial ending at Genesis, Jeff Hardy got himself a rematch against Bobby Roode with the stipulation that Bobby Roode gets disqualified, he loses the title. Now it's a grueling matchup. Back and forth matchup for these two. Great matchup, great main event. Hardy nailed 3 twists of fate, 2 swantons. Was going to get the title. Referee was counting 1, 2. Bully Ray pulls out the referee, calls it a no contest. So we'll see if Jeff Hardy can get some advantage on Bully Ray tonight. So we'll see what kind of competition he'll have, but expect something to happen with Bully Ray and Hardy tonight. It may be a match Against All Odds. Possibility. If Hardy's not in the title picture. Which leads me to question number 1. What happened between James Storm and Bobby Roode? Now, we all know last week, James Storm defeated Kurt Angle to get the #1 contendership for the TNA title. Woo, this fight, little interference from Bully Ray, got the win, kept the title. So, we don't know when they're going to face off for the title, but we know they will eventually face off for the title, be Against All Odds, Impact. Who knows what will happen, but we'll probably see a lot from Storm and Roode tonight on Impact at 9/8 Central, only on Spike TV. There's Infinite Atakline. See you all later tonight for my Impact Wrestling review. Then my y'all been attacked for the news from Zach. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See ya. Oh yeah.